All right, I'm going.
Now, we talk about in baseline the lack of choices, the lack of good choices that people are given. And that's contested, I've noticed, in the last year since we've been looking at what baseline economics are. You know, of course, what do you mean no choices? This is America. You know, we got any choice we want. We have the choice to be better. We have the choice to be bad. We have all the choices we want. The thing is, that's not correct. It's absolutely wrong. It's an absolute lie. What we have is the ability to make good decisions, and we make excellent decisions all the time. But you, the person watching this video right now, has never made a bad decision. You've never made a bad decision in your life. And I'll tell you how it's possible. How could you? You knew the future, you knew the past, you knew what your exposure to risk was, you knew who was involved, who you cared about, who you cared not so much about, and you were also right there. So how could you freak that one out, right? You've never made a bad decision in your life. What happened is you were not given good choices. I'm sure you've been given a lot of good choices. If you're watching this, you've been given a lot of good choices. But what happened is you should not have been exposed to bad choices. They should not have been placed in front of you. You cannot give a man 3 bad choices and expect him to choose one good choice, even with the greatest decision making, which would be perfect, as we just described. So imagine a candy rack. And we'll talk about 2 things: how a bad choice is created and why we're stuck in it. It's easy to say, oh no, but yeah, but baseline is a different revolution. Baseline is not a fist-clenching revolution. It's not a gun nozzle revolution. It's a revolution in thinking. And then all decisions will follow into a better world. So, candy rack. We've all seen one. I've seen one probably every day of my life since my mom first started taking me out of the house when I was born. On it is everything that could possibly fit in that space that would make you happy. Everything, every possible thing that anybody, writers, artists, chemists, can think of to make you happy. It's right there, next to the checkout line. All of those choices blow your mind with decisions. Even if you're not paying attention to it. You're thinking diet, calories, cost, are the children in the car? Should I take this? I had one before, should I get 2? Should I get one for Ruth at the job tomorrow? Should I not do this at all? He didn't know that I was going to this place. He'll know if I have this because I said I was going to go through the drive-thru. Name your individual personal decision-making line, okay? Now, go outside and look at a tree, the baseline, and you will not have any of those decisions. If you see the tree does not care about you. The tree is not interested in giving you any choices at all. Choices are man-made. There's no such thing as a man-made necessity. So, now this is not a tree hugger argument. Clearly, a candy rack is much more exciting than a tree. It really wants to make you happy. But what's missing is there's no choice to walk away. Every time you walk away with a candy rack, you walk away with regret. You made a decision, the best you could do. If it was not, or yes, or she's gonna cry, or whatever it may be, you made the right decision. But it was always sub-satisfactory. You weren't satisfied because you're not satisfied because we are a society that cannot accept loss. Where was the message, the choice on the candy rack to walk away? Where was the choice to do nothing? Like the tree. The tree gives you a choice to do nothing. Now, that may not be very sexy, but it's there. It is not on the candy rack. And the candy rack is a product of every concentrated effort to make you happy as possible. And it may make you happy. It's a beautiful example of how a lack of choices to stop, not start, not go someplace, not go up, not we can make it better, not we can fix it, but to say, that's it. We don't want it. We're gonna stop. We're gonna be at baseline. I don't want a second career at 65. I don't want to keep having to say, I cannot accept loss. I want to be able to say I can accept loss forever. That's what's missing in the algorithm of our heads. So what is that mechanism? It's easy to say that, but now let's go to the meat of this argument. And this is what keeps us dissatisfied in this entire world. Another man-made product called the argument. Now, the argument is something designed to stop time. Now, the reason it's designed to do that is because it's a status tool. Why else would you do it if you did not create in a world that could not accept loss? A baseline where you can accept loss, you do not need the argument. You can do something else. You can go to something called conclusiveness. The argument prevents us from going to any conclusiveness. Without conclusiveness, there's no end. Without an end, there's no satisfaction. Think about it. Hey, look, man, we just found the Holy Grail. We got it. Man, you know, it's gonna really suck not seeing you guys anymore. I mean, we've been on this trip for like a decade or so, and like, it's been such good times and stuff. I mean, we're gonna write still. I mean, can we bury this thing back and just do it again? Think about that. Conclusives and end, getting what we want, getting to decide that makes us satisfied, is stopped by a man-made device. The argument, there to prevent loss. And that's a big key, because we can't prevent loss. Happened a long time ago in an old conversation where it was like, hey man, I lost that. Oh man, where the hell are we? Okay, and we hope they were thinking that. They'd better have been thinking that, because they were the smart guys before us. So, why can't we be satisfied and just make that work, Dan? Why can't baseline economics fix everything if you're so smart? So Obama comes on tonight, or whoever's president, and he says, free oranges for everyone. Absolutely everybody. Free oranges tomorrow, forever, indefinitely, no worries, no paperwork, just strip the price tag off of them. Producers, agriculture, fertilizer, transportation, warehousing, refrigeration, all the checks so clear. Free oranges forever. Good night. Immediately after, there'd be a pundit that would come on 60 Minutes, and he would go, oh, this is unbelievable. We can't have this. There'll be bums lining up, and there'll be gangs backing up their trucks to the grocery stores, taking all the oranges, and it'll just be pandemonium. And just like that. A beautiful idea. Satisfying idea. Satisfaction. When costs less than an F-16 fighter is thrown back into the debate room based on someone's imagination, creating an argument. Now, maybe this is the night before. It hasn't even happened yet. He's imagining this. And we just blew away a great idea. Right? Because we couldn't imagine how dumb those people would look with tons of rotting oranges in their backyard a couple of weeks after, because they didn't listen like the rest of us did, and we just went and got them where we wanted. I mean, when you make changes that are positive for society, these people are going to weed themselves out. All right? You can't protect these, and you don't want to protect them, because you want to know who they are. Okay? Someone told me this is the way there's Escalades and Hummers on the road. Don't get mad at them. Be happy they're there. That way you know who those drivers are. I'm not going to use the word, but you know what I mean. The price of freedom is failure. And it doesn't mean we're all going to fail, but it means that you cannot sit there and let a couple on their front lawn in Orlando say, oh, this is going to just ruin our lives, and just stop everything. That's our collateral damage. Name your social thing that you want done that's just been thrown into the argument, thrown by the argument back into debate by two guys sitting someplace because CNN wanted to get the drinks real fast and come on, you know, what's your feeling? It's going to destroy our lives. That's insane. We can blow up 100,000 kids in another country and say it's for the betterment of the society and for the advancement of the culture. And we can't give free oranges away in this country without somebody saying that it's going to go crazy. It's going to go, why not? And you know, what's the problem with that? Don't we want to see that? Wouldn't that be awesome? Look at what you watch on TV tonight. Wouldn't you rather see pandemonium or oranges? Maybe the entire planet will blow up like the Death Star because of that decision. Wouldn't that just be cool? Wouldn't we all know in the end this is who we really are? And it won't happen. It won't happen. You know why? Because nobody cares, right? Nobody cares enough to do that, right? Those are all imaginations, right? And of course they have to be imaginations because we don't do them in real life. We couldn't run a body count up in this country if we tried, okay, because we're safe and we love one another. Take a look at any disaster and take a look at the numbers versus a ferry boat in Taiwan in 20 minutes. Come on. So we have to change the way we think in a small way. It's not a political way. There's no Democratic or Republican way to build a bridge. There's a mechanical engineering way to build a bridge. There's a baseline way to conduct a society based on the ability to accept loss forever. Doesn't mean we have to just allow the place to burn. No one's going to lose anything. But we have to know that the aqueducts are built. We've done this. The code that had to be in us to get this done, to organize this and get this done, something we really don't understand still, is done. It's time to enjoy it because we're now seeing the surplus of that, and that's baseline. We cannot condemn that any more than you would condemn something that grows from your pot that does not need any watering at all. It's an advancement. It's not a threat. It's baseline. Come out and join us.
So, Dan, where would we, remind me again, just tell the camera one more time who you are, where we can learn more about these ideas and all that.
Absolutely, yeah. Baseline Economics can be found in the American Homeless Companion, and its author is myself, Dan Neel, and I live in San Francisco. I'm actually happily a baseliner in the upper Haight district of San Francisco, California.
And today is the day after Thanksgiving.
Day after Thanksgiving, yeah, that's right.
Cool. Well, thanks so much, Dan. I really appreciate it.
It's my pleasure.
Cool.